Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been compelled to do a book review, and I have not done one in a little bit, but this book really compelled me, and I was doing my February wrap-up, and I kind of really just wanted to do a video on this particular book, and I'm really, well, okay. It is Forever or a Long, Long Time by Kayla Carter. I first heard about it from Chantel Reads All Day. She talked about it, and I had it on my TBR, and then Krista from Books and Jams read it for a video. She was doing this series where she reads like a different booktuber, and so she read this book too, and she liked it. But there's some things that neither one of them mentioned that I am really interested in their opinions on, especially because they read the book. So I really want to go into this spoilery. So if you've not read this book, do not watch this video. But if you are Krista and Chantel, please watch this video and comment and tell me what you think of my thoughts, because I did not hear either one of you mention anything about what I'm about to talk about, and I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are. So basically, before I read this book, I thought it was going to be about, well, Flora and Julian. They're adopted children. They get adopted by a mother and father, and, you know, it's kind of their journey to accept that they're home, and they also kind of go on this memory lane journey because they don't know where they came from, where they started, who their parents are. They don't know anything. So they initially think they were never born because they don't have, like, baby pictures and all that stuff. And then, like, this is not a sappy adoption story. You see a lot of their trauma and how they respond differently to trauma, both of them, and they have a lot of trauma. But you also see, like counseling sessions, and you see like the imperfections of the parents and how they mess up, but how they rectify it. I appreciate people who can apologize, especially adults, when they screw up. So like there's this one part of the book where Flora finds out that her mom has been hiding postcards from her previous foster siblings and foster parents or whatever. Like, she has tons of them. And so she finds out, and the therapist pretty much like tells her mom she sucked for doing that, which I cheered for. I love it when adults get told off for things they do to kids. It is just like, it is joyful. Yes, I'm still a child at heart. I like literally defend the children, and I want the adults to get their comeuppance when they're jerks to them. But I appreciated that she apologized and like owned it and all that. So yeah, I really enjoyed the adoption aspect of it, but the part that really got me thinking was there's another kid that neither one of you guys even mentioned in this book, and I kind of understand why, because she's not really a huge part of the story. But the father in this, from what I understand, the mother adopted these two children, and then she marries this guy who has another kid. So between the two of them, they have 3 children. And this kid only sees her father every other weekend, you know, because the parents are divorced. And I never heard about this kid when you guys talked about this book. And I found it really interesting to think about this child in this, because, and like how confusing it all is. Because, I mean, when you typically marry into a family, like, unless the kids are really, really little, that's called a step sibling. But, like, they're so determined to call this girl their sister, like, force the sister thing on the kids, on all of the kids, really. And I can understand why this girl is just, like, not interested. And I don't know, I know I shouldn't necessarily be feeling so much for them because they're kind of like the mean ones in the story, her and her mom. But I felt for them because, like, this man blew up his kid's life. He divorces her mom. I mean, we don't know the circumstances of their divorce, but they get divorced. And then she sees him every other weekend. And then he goes and marries a woman with 2 really needy, traumatized children. So what does she get from him? I actually kind of agreed with her that the attention sort of divides even more. Like, and it is kind of split more than it was. Because, I mean, I don't know where they were living before, but now they're living in this woman's house. And she's relegated to a pull-out couch to sleep on every other weekend. While the real children, the adopted children, in this case, get the beds. Like, just that alone made me mad. And then, like, I don't know. I thought the dad was a really good dad to Flora and Julian, and I think he wanted this to work seamlessly, and it didn't, and it upset him. Like, he just wanted, I think her name was Elena, to sort of get over it. But I don't know. I feel like I would probably be angry if I barely saw my dad, and then he goes and marries this woman who has kids who need him every waking minute. Like, not to mention the pull-out couch. And then there's, like, a scene in the book where Flora and Elena kind of get into a fight because Elena is making fun of Julian, and Flora punches her, and, like, I know that Elena started it, so the dad shouldn't have sided with Elena, but I kind of felt for Elena and her mom when he didn't side with her, because, like, they didn't ask for this. And I've read other, like, foster care books, like the memoirs from Kathy Glass and, like, Maggie Hartley and all of them who, and they've all said that, like, foster care and adoption has to be a family decision or it won't work. Because, like, everybody has to be aware of, like, the trauma that these kids have and that they might need more, and has to be kind of okay with it. But it doesn't sound like he asked her. He went into this like you would if this was, like, a typical remarriage where, you know, you're getting new siblings whether you like it or not. But I feel like in this case, he kind of abandoned her for them. So, like, I really felt for the ex-wife when she's like, you made this decision, she didn't ask for this upheaval in her life, and now you're taking their side against your own kid, like, you know. So, like, I know it's not the right take, but they didn't commit to this. They were never asked. It was just forced on them because he wanted to marry someone. And I'm not saying you have to ask your kid's permission before you get married to someone, but I feel like in this case, it should have been more gradual, and it sounds like they all just kind of moved in together and they were expected to just work it out. And, like, the other two kids get all this therapy and extra attention and understanding, and this kid gets left in the dust. Like, you're the normal one, so you better adjust. And I just felt really bad for her. So yeah, like, I really wanted to talk about that and kind of get you guys' take on it. And yeah, I mean, if anybody else wants to watch this and kind of comment on it, if you don't care about spoilers, I'd appreciate it. Like, would you, like, marry someone who recently adopted 2 kids when you barely see your own kid? And I know that every other weekend is your standard dad schedule, but woof. That's just, I don't know. It bugged me a bit. Like, he left her in the dust a lot, you know, and she was just expected to figure it out. And so I was really, as much as it was her fault about the fight, I kind of rooted for the ex-wife, like, telling him off. Because he just expected her to cope and be the good one and just kind of deal with the other 2 kids and their, like, issues and stuff. And that's just not what kids do. Kids aren't nice. Kids aren't always understanding, especially when you don't even consider their feelings before you make a huge decision. So, I don't know. Like, I enjoyed the whole adoption aspect of this book, but I left this book thinking more about Elena than about the other 2 kids that I'm supposed to be thinking about and feeling bad for her. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess give me your opinions if you have any. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Actually, I'm already posting a video right now. As it is, it's processing. It's my second half of my Goodreads for February. So you're going to get 2 videos today. Anyway. Yeah, I just felt very compelled to talk about this book. So, yeah. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. I am really hoping to get to 100 subscribers by, like, June. Not too likely, but, you know. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.
Speech on. Stop recording.